Welcome to Insanely Positive! Your oasis of joy when the world seems grey and full of grumpy faces. I'm Suzanne Freiherz. Thank you for joining me. I'll feed you buckets of joy to bring out your best self so you can live your best life. Hello everyone. I am so glad that you are here with me again. This is week 40. I can barely believe that it's been 40 weeks of doing this podcast in both English and in German. And I hope you've enjoyed it so far. Thank you for sticking with me. And when I thought about today's topic, I thought, can I do something special because it's such a nice round number? And I thought about topics and I thought about, and nothing came to mind. I looked through ideas, notes, all the stuff that I plan to do someday, and nothing felt right. The only thing that kept happening whenever I thought about this week's show was an inner silence came up. Just this deep inner calm and peace just came up every time. And it took me a while to understand, but then it hit me. That's it. Maybe we can all use some silence. That's today's topic. Silence. The magic of silence. And before we share some silence with each other, please allow me to specify what I mean when I say silence. And it's easier to say what silence is not. Silence is not an awkward pause. We all have been there. Some conversation where the conversation just isn't flowing and we kind of try to talk about stuff and we are looking for words and topics, but nothing really starts to flow. And these awkward pauses just keep coming up and it's really uncomfortable and kind of stressful. So that's not what silence is. That's an awkward pause. And silence also is not the absence of noises. So silence is not the world being on pause. So what is silence? Silence, I think, is a quality on the inside that remains completely untouched by everything that comes up, no matter if it's noise around us or within us. And it's, I think, something we can experience in conversations with people we have a deep connection with. Because when we are connected with each other, we don't need to talk all the time. We can be silent together. And we can feel that this still is a form of communication. And sometimes with silence, we can say things better than with words, right? And because silence is so powerful and so deeply nurturing, I thought it's a wonderful opportunity to talk about that and to share some silence with you. So just remember that everything that comes up is part of this silent quality within. Because when everything within is filled with this frequency of silence, I always feel that life can communicate with me much better
when I'm silent within. And what I always experience is that silence is very dynamic and vibrant. So it's not an empty space. So how do we tap into this quality? Because I believe that it's always within us. All we need to do, we don't need to create it. All we need to do is tap into it. And what I find super interesting, and this is probably because I love words so much as a linguist. I'm always fascinated by words. And here I realized that the words silent and listen, that's an anagram. Silent and listen. It's the same letters, but in a different order. Silent, listen. And that's all that is needed to tap into this magic of silence. Listen. We can listen into the spaces between our thoughts, no matter how tiny they may seem. We can listen for the spaces between words when we speak. We can listen for the silence between our breaths, the tiny, tiny spaces between the inhale and the exhale and the exhale and the inhale. And to talk about silence is one part, but of course, it makes sense to tap into the magic of silence right now together. So now I invite you to share 1 minute of silence with me. Remember, there is nothing you need to do. You don't need to make anything happen. Just listen. And that was 1 minute of silence. And as I said before, the silence continues because it includes everything, every noise, every word, everything. I always feel that silence means to listen to the universe pour into my heart. And I hope you enjoyed the experience, and I want to encourage you to tap into this inner quality, into these spaces of silence during your day whenever you want to or need to, and just allow yourself to be amazed by this dynamic dance that silence is. Thank you so much for sharing this very special episode with me. If you're interested in hearing a little bit more about silence, I did a video a while ago called The Frequency of Silence, and watch until the end if you're a Doctor Who fan because we had a little fun with the silence from Doctor Who on the video as well. Thank you very, very much. Take a breath, Feel the silence within your heart flow into your beautiful mind, into every cell of your body, and into every moment of your life, and create joy and bliss. Shed the negative. The new normal is insanely positive.